Mangwana Nemalelepo Fukenjani Klekwas Vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show bringing you everything you need to know happening on the African continent and beyond. You are joined by Ashwin Betty. Looking at some of the top stories today, SAPS evacuates over 2,500 trainees after gas pipeline explosion. West African juntas write to UN over Ukraine's alleged rebel support. And 7 detained in connection with theft from armed forces that is in Mozambique. We'll also be talking to talent Gore as she brings us the news stories from Zimbabwe. DSTV 285, Go TV 25, 1up2.com is precisely where you can find us. Top stories shortly.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Getting into our top stories, the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service, General Fani Masemola, has ordered the evacuation of over 2,500 trainees. This follows a gas pipeline explosion at a nearby business site adjacent to the SAPS Training Academy in Tshwane. This decision to evacuate the trainees, SAPS trainers and members from various specialized units, including the NAT Joints Coordination Center, was made after consulting with experts. Specialists are on site to manage the fire at the nearby business, according to SAPS. The training academy remains unaffected. The evacuation is a precaution by management. A venue operational center led by the Deputy National Commissioner for Police, Lieutenant General Tebelo Mosikili, has been established to manage the situation with input from multiple experts. Now, the military juntas of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger have written to the UN Security Council to denounce what they said was Ukraine's support for rebel groups in West Africa's Sahel region, Mali's foreign ministry said. Mali cut diplomatic ties with Ukraine in early August over comments by a spokesperson for Ukraine's military intelligence agency, Andriy Yusov, about fighting in Mali's north that killed Malian soldiers and mercenaries from the Russian Wagner group in late July. The military government of Niger followed suit days later in solidarity with its neighbor. Yusuf had said Malian rebels had received the necessary information to conduct a successful military operation. Now, Mozambique's Central Office for the Fight Against Corruption announced the detention this week of 7 people implicated in the theft of about $636,000 at the current exchange rate from the General Staff of the Mozambican Armed Forces. 3 of those detained are members of the FADM who worked in the area of administration and finance. The other 4 from building companies and had no ties with the state. The GCCC added that the investigations so far have led to the seizure of 3 houses and 3 vehicles. Now, a boat accident on the Lukeni River, this is in western Congo, this weekend left at least 20 people dead and hundreds missing, a local official said this week. It is the latest fatal boat accident in the Central African country, where overloading is often the problem. Notably in June, when an overloaded boat sank near the capital and 80 passengers died. The motorized wooden boat was carrying about 300 passengers and was sailing at night when it collided with a sunken barge, Koti Territory Administrator Jacques Nzenza Mongi told a news conference. Now, many Nigerians have reacted with outrage after a new plane was bought for President Bola Tinubu at a time when the economy is experiencing its worst crisis in a generation. The purchase comes less than 2 weeks after thousands took to the streets across the country to protest rising hunger and the cost of living. Elected last year to lead Africa's most populous country, Tinubu has introduced several economic reforms, including the removal of fuel subsidies, which have contributed contributed to high inflation, currently over 30%. I'll definitely be giving that story a second take on Sunday. But for now, talent Gore is on the other side of the break with news from Zimbabwe.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
All right, it's time for us to talk to talent Gore in Zimbabwe. Talent Wamkase.
Tamukeni kana mamkase Africa.
Tamuka Hedu. Now, government and IOM are moving to address migration challenges. Please tell us how.
Yes, the Zimbabwean government and the International Organization for Migration have joined hands in addressing the multifaceted challenges of migration within the southern region and globally. Apparently, the Public Service Labour Social Welfare Minister July Moyo said that there was need for regional cooperation, citing the cross-border nature of migration. He said that Zimbabwe receives migrants who come to the country, and we also send out migrants. So right now they have set up centers across border towns to ensure that they teach the citizens on migration and the effects of migration. So he said that the IOM and the government of Zimbabwe have set up these centers across all the border towns to ensure that they are able to teach citizens on migration, on the effects of migration when the migrants come in and when they go out of the country. So yeah, that is what he said at a workshop last week in Zimbabwe.
All right, talent. Now, the Zimbabwe government has decided to ban riverbed mining.
Yes, Zimbabwe has banned riverbed mining with immediate effect to protect the environment, a move that could impact many of the country's gold miners. Apparently, especially in Bulawayo, the Bulawayo city mayor said that riverbed mining had deteriorated most of the lakes and dams in Bulawayo, and now there was shortage of water in the second largest city in Zimbabwe. So the government on Tuesday said that with immediate effect they had banned riverbed mining, and right now they are setting up task force to ensure that all the riverbed exercises that have been going on across the country, they are banned with immediate effect. Since 2021, Zimbabwe has allowed large-scale and mechanical mining, which has resulted in water pollution, siltation, and degradation of river channels. In 2020, the authorities issued a similar ban, but nothing was done to ensure that that ban was actually taken seriously. And we also find out that over 60% of Zimbabwe's gold is produced by these small-scale miners who actually conduct this riverbed mining. They are the ones who produce 60% of the country's gold, which is then sold to the Fidelity or to the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. So right now we are not really sure how they are going to tackle this, how they're going to ensure that those small-scale miners do not keep on continuing with their exercises, and how they're going to ensure that those same small-scale miners have something to do, because really their livelihoods depend on that mining, that riverbed mining that they've just banned. So we're not really sure how the government is going to tackle all the challenges that are going to come with the ban on the riverbed mining.
All right, with the normalization of this freelance mining, if you will, has the negative tone of the term makorokoza disappeared?
No, it hasn't. It's still there. And right now, the Makorokoza term is still there. And there's also another term that has emerged, which is Machets gang. Yeah, Makorokoza. So they use machets doing their business to
Threatening
violence
people.
amongst each other.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So it's
All right.
there. It hasn't gone away.
It hasn't gone away. All right, talent. We have one more story, and I'm going to need your help with her name. So, reigning Miss Universe Shanice, I want to say Palacios, is in Zimbabwe as part of her global tour.
Yes, well, the name is correct. Reigning Miss Zimbabwe, sorry, reigning Miss Universe World Shanice Palacios of Nicaragua is currently in Zimbabwe and is visiting the country courtesy of the Miss Universe Zimbabwe organizers and the Ministry of Tourism and Hospitality Industry. Miss Universe has also pledged to help market Zimbabwe during her tour here. Apparently, her tour to Zimbabwe is part of a larger tour in which she's visiting different countries. And right now, she's in Victoria Falls, where she is experiencing the good side of Zimbabwe. She was taken to Victoria Falls by the Miss Universe Zimbabwe organizers and the Ministry of Tourism. She was also pledged to help market Zimbabwe, to help market the brand Zimbabwe out there, because right now the country, in particular the Ministry of Tourism, is trying by all means to market the brand Zimbabwe out there to ensure that we get more tourists, to ensure that we get more celebrities coming to Zimbabwe, in particular Victoria Falls. So you find out that each time when someone comes, if a celebrity comes, if a government, senior government officials come, they are taken to Victoria Falls so that they get a feel of the seven wonder of the world. So right now she is in Zimbabwe. She'll be going around different tourist destination. She came on Monday, and we're not really sure as to when she'll be going back to Nicaragua.
Okay, wait a minute, talent. You said every time a celebrity comes to Zimbabwe, the government goes out of its way to treat them well and take them to Victoria Falls. I was there 2 weeks ago.
An official or a celebrity. So
All right, thank you very much, talent, for humbling me and reminding me why we do what we do. It's for the news.
you're welcome, and thank you very much for having me.
It's always good having you on Africa Good Morning. Let's head to the weather predictions. Getting into economic news, Ghana has abandoned its 32-year tradition of securing loans from international banks to finance its cocoa crop for the upcoming season. Industry regulator Ghana Cocoa Board wants to wean itself from the annual syndicated loans. Chief Executive Officer Joseph Boahen Aidu said, typically Cocoa Board secures the syndicated loan in September right before the season kicks off. Ghana plans to tap domestic sources to finance cocoa purchases from farmers in the upcoming upcoming season, which begins a month earlier this year on the 1st of September, Bloomberg reported. The decision follows a Bloomberg report revealing that the world's second largest cocoa producer had been negotiating a bridge loan with major cocoa traders like Barry Callebaut, AG and Olam Group Limited after talks with foreign lenders for a $1.5 billion syndicated loan had stalled. Now, Telecom Namibia has earmarked between 90 and 100 million Namibian dollars for improving network quality and expanding coverage in the country. The telecommunications giant has initiated upgrades of several mobile sites from 2G to 3G and 4G technology as part of this investment. Telecom Namibia Chief Executive Officer Stanley Shanapinda highlighted the move is aimed at enhancing network performance and accessibility for customers across the country. We have a budget of roughly 90 to 100 million Namibian dollars for improving the network quality of service. What we have done is upgrade a few mobile sites from 2G to 3G to 4G so that we can also expand coverage. Let's have a look at the economic indicators.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with tennis news first. It is the Cincinnati Open that is completed and it's now building up to the US Open. It was the finals that was played, and in the men's final it was the world number one, it's Yannick Sinner. He won the tournament. He beat Francis Tiafoe. He beat him by 7-6 and 6-2. It is Francis Tiafoe that was unseeded in the tournament, so a great tournament for him. In the women's side of the draw, it is Aryna Sabalenka that won the tournament. She beat American Jessica Pegula by 6-3 and 7-5. It is Aryna Sabalenka that will be one of the favourites, or the favourite, on the hard court. She also won the Australian Open on a similar surface, and it is the US Open that will start this coming Monday, and it is the fourth major of the year. Moving on to motorcycle news, it is the MotoGP news. The standings at the moment, the point standings is that Jorge Martin is leading on his Ducati on 241 points. That's after a second place in the Austrian Grand Prix. It was Francisco Bagnaia, also in the Ducati, that won the Austrian Grand Prix. He's in second position on 238, and then in third position is Anea Bastianini with 192 points. And South African Brad Binder, he's in seventh position overall all on 114 points. He had a good Austrian Grand Prix. He started on 12th position and finished in 5th position. That was the Austrian Grand Prix the past weekend. Closing off today's international sports news with soccer news. It is the English Premier League that's in full swing. It was a Monday night game and it was Leicester that hosted Tottenham Hotspur, and it was a tough game that ended 1-1 draw. Good result for Leicester. They didn't play in the Premier League last year. They were out of the Premier League for one season, back again, so a good result for them at home against difficult opponents. The next game for Leicester this coming weekend will be against Fulham. That will be a away game for them, and it is Manchester City that will host the team of Ipswich. That will be on Saturday. It is Manchester City, the defending champions. They started off with a win the past weekend, and also some of the other big names in the English Premier League also started with wins like Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester United. So the English Premier League that will continue this coming weekend. That's international sports news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Thank you for staying with Africa. Good morning throughout the broadcast. Let's have a look at the highlights. SAPS evacuates over 2,500 trainees after gas pipeline explosion. West African juntas write to the UN over Ukraine's alleged rebel support. And Ghana breaks 32 years of foreign cocoa financing, opts for local funding. DSTV 285, Gore TV 25, whatUp2.com is precisely where you can find us. One day left in the week. My name is Ashwin Bedi. Soreja Kanaka.